Buddy, we just wanted to introduce the two women behind Silver and Sassy. Thought it would be a fun way for you to get to know more about us. So I'd like to introduce my friend and founder of Silver and Sassy, Annie. Hi, Annie.
Hi, Rachel. What a great sunny afternoon we've got. And this is Rachel, my co-founder as well, Rachel Peru. Fantastic mature model, works for Bridge Models, and we'll be hearing all about that as we chat away the afternoon.
And Annie has such a long, varied career, from TV cook to now modelling in the 70s, and a fellow Silver woman. So we're delighted to be co-founding this event. It's really exciting.
It
So,
is.
Annie, let's start at the beginning. How old were you when you first started going grey?
Well, I think I was about 18, which I felt was quite young. So I remember I had sort of mousy browny hair, and it was in a flick. In those days, it was a flicked up. Used to put rollers in, you know, those spongy rollers. You won't remember those, Rachel. And I used to pull these sort of silvery threads out, and I probably didn't think too much of it at the time. I thought, well, that's not great, but you know, that's probably it. And then people say, if you pull them out, they're going to get worse, and then they did. And over the years, my hair just gradually started to produce more silver threads. And it was really when I had my daughter Sarah, and I got a really bad dose of postnatal depression, and I'd been colouring my hair up to then, and it was actually quite sort of dark brown, and while I was ill, I just hadn't got the will or the way to sort of keep colouring it, so I let it just grow out. And I remember my brother came up from London to see us. He hadn't seen us for a while. And I remember he took like a step back when he saw me, and I was thinking, oh, I wonder what. And I just thought, God, I must look so old. And my hair had just, because I'd not been colouring it, it just grown out. And but it was a very steely grey. It's white now.
It's a gorgeous white colour. It really is.
Well, it is now, but it wasn't. And you know, it just felt quite a tricky kind of stage to be at, really, with my hair, because I just was relatively young, so it didn't feel good.
Yeah. But now you look.
So how about you, Rachel? How old were you when you first started to go grey?
I was 46, so 4 years ago I stopped colouring it, and I'd literally dyed it every colour of the rainbow. I'd had it navy blue, bright red, all different colours, because I'd, like you, I was kind of grey when I was about 14, but my grandma was white when she was 30, so it kind of runs in the family. And I just woke up one morning, I had really short hair, and I just thought, I don't want to get it coloured anymore. I want to just be natural. So I just stopped, and that was it, and I never looked back. And it's funny because I'd remarried the year before that, and so I think I'd got to a place where I was really comfortable in my own skin and where I was, so it just felt like the right time.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It does. You just kind of know, you feel it's right, and you feel comfortable with it. But I mean, yours is great. I love the fact that yours is long, and sometimes, you know, I quite like an edge shortcut, but I do actually think it'd be so versatile to have something that I could tie up, or, you know, put in a ponytail, or, you know, those scrunchy kind of looks that you can do when you've got long hair. I kind of think, oh, I wish I could do that. Maybe after this lockdown I might be able to. Oh dear.
Yeah, but I think you always want what you haven't got, because I always had short hair. This is the longest I've ever had my hair in my life. I've always had hair like your length, and so I do have moments where I think, oh gosh, I would love to get it all cut short. It's quite liberating. Yeah, but I am going to persevere.
Yeah. No, I think it's great as it is, because I find myself, I don't know whether you ever do, but when you go out shopping, you know, when we do go shopping again, I often, I mean, I look at women with our colour hair, silver, grey or white hair, and it does sometimes stop you in your tracks. You find yourself staring, don't you? Because you know it does look really good. It's a real statement, isn't it? If a good cut, long, short, whatever, but it does look great.
So where did the idea come from for the event? Because you were the brainchild behind this one.
Well, it's funny, I suppose, because like you, your hair does define you, it's crowning glory, and I suppose I was just aware that there was suddenly a lot of interest in women with grey, silver, and white hair. There was loads of stuff online about it. Lots of forums, lots of products coming out now for silver, grey and white hair. But I thought the one thing that I hadn't really seen was an event about it, about, you know, gathering together of women with our hair. So I thought, I knew York Fashion Week was coming up, and I'd already started doing some modelling, having retired from my PR and food career. I'd sort of got into modelling, which I'm finding really exciting and very different. So I approached York Fashion Week and just said, look, I was quite sort of tentative about it because I thought they'd send me away and say, don't be silly, because you know, you kind of, we've got loads of stuff on the go. Anyway, they didn't. They said, fantastic idea. I went away and thought about it and thought, you know, do I want to do it? Can I do it? And they actually said that you were sort of going to work with York Fashion Week as well. And how about approaching you? So I remember that day when I got in touch with you, because a lot of people, I don't know whether you find, some people don't say yes very easily, but actually, Rachel, I just got in touch with you with this wild idea, and I thought you'd say, oh, well, I'll just sleep on it, or I'll come back to you in a week or whatever, and you said yes straight away. And actually, we've never looked back, have we?
No, and I completely, from the first time you contacted me, I completely got where you were coming from with it.
Yeah.
And it's something that I 100% agree with you, is the fact that you know, we're just so underrepresented, and society still represent women with grey hair in a different way to other women. And it's never, you know, it's very rarely in a positive way, is it, in the fashion industry?
No.
But there's still a long way to go. So to be part of something, for York Fashion Week, because it's in the north and everything normally is down south, so it's brilliant to be involved in something in the north. But to be doing something with you like this has just been brilliant, and the response we've had has been fantastic from the models and from suppliers. It's been really exciting.
It has been really exciting, and we've got together a real lovely sort of runway, haven't we, of brilliant models who are women who, well, I don't think we've got, well, apart from yourself, there's I don't think there's anybody who's modelled before. No. So but they've all got the most fantastic head of hair, whether it's, and it's all different, isn't it? The look that they have, it's all different style, shape, colour, even different shade of grey, silver or white. So it's fantastic. What's your favourite look though, Rachel? Because I've seen you with lots of different looks. So what's your favourite look for going out? You know, if you're going out for a sort of good night out, or and for leisure, what would you go for?
If it's just leisure, like if I was just at home and have nothing on, then I tend to, now it's a bit longer, I tend not to do anything with it. So I will just let it dry naturally and maybe put some mousse in it, and it will just, it's got a slight natural wave now, which I quite like. And so I don't, leisure-wise, during the day, I'm a bit lazy, so I don't tend to do very much. If I'm going out, I really like it, kind of like a beach wave, so it's kind of got a feel to it. But now because I've never had it this length, I can actually put it up now. And Sonia Schofield, our makeup artist for the event, has done some shoots with me where she's put it up with all fancy curls. So I'm going to start trying to be a bit braver and start trying to learn how to put it up. But it's something I need to master.
I love that look. I love that shoot that you did. It was brilliant. It was very different, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
The look.
It's fun to play around though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is fun to play around. Yeah. I just need a few different ideas for my shortcut.
Yes, But you know, we did a shoot, and Annie had this amazing
Yes.
and he was with it. So short hair can still be versatile.
Yeah, yeah. The flick. That was Sonia again. She was determined to do it, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was determined to do it. Yeah. The only thing was, she said it made me look 20 years younger. So I thought, oh my God, what? How ancient did I really look before that?
So going back to this thing about the fact that women aren't necessarily seen in a positive way in the industry, why do you think it is that women with grey hair tend to be seen in a more negative way, whereas men have always been silver foxes?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it's driven by the media, or it has been driven by the media for years, hasn't it? With, you know, it's this focus on eternal youth, isn't it? That the world spins around women who are, you know, unlined, or if they've got lines, they've maybe had them, you know, sort of taken out with facelifts and things. I don't know, but you're right. The silver fox, sexy man, older man is applauded, whereas women, you know, I think we've always felt this sort of need to make ourselves look younger than we are, and it's really sad. But I think it's changing, and I hope that we're doing our bit, Rachel, to change that perception that we, as, you know, kind of, you as, you know, nearly 50, me as nearly 70, can go out there with confidence and say, look, you know, I am nearly 70, you're nearly 50, and actually be proud of it, and represent the brands that women of our age are buying, because they're the women who are buying big brands, aren't they? Buying the goods, buying the services. So why have those goods and services be promoted by somebody who's 35 when, you know, they're not the people who are buying them, so, and using them. So I think the more that we can do to sort of push the boundaries and you know, put ourselves out there and push for a change, I think.
Yeah.
I think the better it is for all of us.
And I also love the fact, Annie, that, you know, you are nearly 70, but you've suddenly got this new career as a model. You know, you are changing, going into something that you've not done before. And I love that, because it just shows that age shouldn't be a barrier to anything, should it? You should be able to just kind of do what you want at any age.
It shouldn't. I mean, it is a confidence thing. I mean, I must say, and we've talked about this before, haven't we, this confidence thing. I do think that you get to a certain age and it does give you the confidence to be able to adapt to change. And I do think, you know, a lot of women perhaps don't have the confidence, or probably need a little gentle, you know, sort of help with confidence, because I think most women would probably want to do something a bit different, and I think to be able to sort of help to empower women to make those changes, I think it's a brilliant thing. So yeah, power to us, power to us older women. So have you ever been tempted to sort of colour your hair again? Have you ever thought, oh, one day I might just go back to, I don't know, pink, blue?
No, it's funny because I have had it so many different colours.
Yeah.
I've never thought, actually, I wish I'd not done it, or I wish I'd, you know, could I go back being dark? And now when I see photographs of myself when I was really dark, I always I look a bit harsh, and I can see probably I look softer now with my grey hair, and I think it's my skin tone better than it did maybe when I was forcing dark on myself. So I don't at all. No, it's funny. I don't miss it or think, you know, should I go back and I could always buy a wig.
Yes.
I've thought about that a couple of times. That's fun.
Yeah, I once went to a wig party and I loved it, actually. It was like a Tina Turner wig. It was blue, and I absolutely loved wearing it. So yeah, that'd be quite fun to do.
It would. So what do you love most about your grey hair now?
Well, I love the fact it's white, because it's just well, there's a little bit of steely just at the back, I think. Still, I don't really get to look at it very much, but I love the fact that it is now white. But it took a long time to get to this stage, and you know, it wasn't always a comfortable transition to this colour. But I think, having decided that I didn't want to colour it anymore because it was such a faff, and you know, I just couldn't be bothered going sitting in the hairdressers for hours on end having it done. And you know, applaud women who do that, because I know that's a necessity. But I just couldn't be bothered with it, so I just thought, I'm just going to go this colour. Unfortunately, it has gone white, so I'm quite lucky that it has, because I still get people saying to me that they think it's coloured.
Yeah.
I mean, you must as well.
Yeah. Younger girls will come up to me and say, "Oh, what dye do you use?"
Yes.
Do you use certain products on your hair to keep it that white?
No, and do you know, I have tried with various shampoos, but I think because white hair is so porous, it does tend to take these shampoos on, I don't know, much darker than I want, so I end up looking a bit purple, and I don't like that look. Having said that, one of our models for one of our Silver and Sassy models, you know, has a purple look, and she looks fantastic, doesn't she? She looks amazing with it. But I find, just particularly on me, that kind of purpley look it's not a great look. But yeah, I don't know, looking for something that will really enhance the whiteness of it and keep it like really white. Because sometimes in the summer it goes, does yours go yellow?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Or if I use straightening irons or hair, or even if I blow dry my hair and it's too hot.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you know, for anybody who's particularly at this time with the lockdown and you know, there's sort of not being able to get to the hairdressers, have you got any advice for any women who are struggling to ditch the dye at the moment?
Well, it's different, because my go-to would be to make sure that you've got a good hairdresser that's on board with it, because I think having a really good cut in a style that you really feel great in really makes a big difference to when you're growing out your hair. And I was like a really short pixie cut, so for me it was much easier to grow out. Whereas if you've got longer hair, I can imagine it takes a long time. So I think having a really good cut, and also not listening to other people's opinions, because I know I joke about it. I put a post out on Facebook saying, right, I'm going to stop colouring my hair. So, you know, what do we all think? And everybody was so negative about it, and it could have easily put me off.
Yes,
And it didn't for me. But so I think you've got to just follow how you feel about yourself and just stick with it.
It's hard though, isn't it? Because again, with our Silver and Sassy models, we did find that came across a lot of negativity. Sometimes partners, sometimes, you know, people, sometimes friends. And you've got to be quite determined to continue, because you only need a little chink of self-doubt, don't you? And you just think, oh, well, if they don't like it, and they're always really, you know, up to the minute with fashion and they know where it's at, so they must be right.
Yeah, I met a friend in the supermarket last year who I'd not seen for ages, and she was practically in tears, and she'd started to grow her hair out, and actually it looked gorgeous. She's got really long hair, but it was kind of silver down sides. And she said that the feedback she'd got from her friends had been so negative and so upsetting that she was thinking about it died again. And I thought, women have just got to drop this judgment, and if we want to go grey, then go grey. If you don't want to and you want to colour it, that's fine too. It's such a personal thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But it's hard. I think that's it. Just, you know, stay strong, and, you know, if and it's go with your gut. And if you feel it's right for you, I've always done that. Sometimes you don't go with your gut and then you regret it. I mean, how many times have we all done that? Gone against our gut and regretted it. I think that's my big thing. Just go with your gut every single time. Yeah.
So last question. I know you've already asked me this as well. So who would be your silver icon?
Oh, I think Helen Mirren.
Mine
I
too.
think, yeah, is that the same? Yeah. Just, oh, she's just, there's just something amazing about her, and the image that it's in my head all the time. I don't obsess about it, by the way, but but you know, was it Paris Fashion Week?
Oh,
And do you remember that image? You know the one I'm talking about,
yeah.
don't you? And she had the most fantastic dress on, and she'd kicked her shoes off, and she was running down the runway, and she was holding the dress, and her hair was carefree, and she was just it was the most amazing image, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to being able to do that on the runway with you. When we get the event going, and we will be back.
We will be back.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Annie. That was really good fun.
No, it was good to catch up virtually, isn't it? And not too long before we can have a coffee and a cream cake.
Sounds like a plan. Brilliant. Hope everyone's enjoyed that, and look out, there might be some more from our Silver and Sassy team in the future.